What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tiger T. I'm Tyler, and today I'm doing another death battle. We got Harley Quinn versus Jinx. Harley Quinn from Batman, Jinx from League of Legends, or from what I know her from is from Arcane. Arcane, great show. Please go check out Arcane. Yeah, another death battle. Done a few death battles at this point. Not much to say. We always do a prediction before we watch the death battle, and we stick with it, right? So I think, let's see, I'm probably more familiar with Harley Quinn because I've watched a lot more Batman like cartoons growing up, Batman games sort of thing. Jinx, I don't really know League of Legends that well. I don't really know what her like powers are and that. I've watched Arcane, very good show. I don't have like a lot of knowledge on both these characters. I've some. I mean, Jinx. So neither of them have like powers, right? Like it's Jinx like tinkers with stuff, and then Harley Quinn just has like the crazy comic book stuff, right? I mean, I'm gonna go with Harley Quinn only because that's tough. That's really tough. Yeah, that's something, huh? The thing is, I really don't know League of Legends that well, you know. And like in Arcane, Jinx is cool, but she's not like OP or anything. You know, she's just kind of crazy, and she makes these bombs. Whereas like Harley Quinn has stood toe to toe with some formidable foes, right? Some like formidable superheroes. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go Harley Quinn. Yeah, I think we go Harley Quinn. I think another aspect to that is that Harley Quinn is a comic book character, so I feel like comic book characters are already kind of a cheat code because there's so much history there. League of Legends is obviously a very long running game, but it's a game. You know, comics can get crazy. I'm gonna go Harley Quinn. Let's see, everybody.
Harley Quinn, DC's fantabulous anti-hero.
Jinx, the loose cannon of League of Legends.
We live in a society
God
that
dang.
adheres to strict laws and norms, but these two ladies turn that system on its head with their wild enthusiasm for destruction and chaos.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Born to a middle-class family in the heart of Brooklyn, USA, Harleen Quinzel had long lived a life of mediocrity. She had embarrassing parents, annoying siblings,
And a high school life that sucked.
Oh
Even
no.
more than like the normal ones.
she never quite felt like she fit in anywhere. But despite this, Harleen knew she was destined for greatness.
So, inspired by a childhood crush turned psychotic murderer, Harleen spent years training to be a world-renowned criminal psychiatrist, eventually traveling to Gotham City's infamous Arkham Asylum to research the most dangerous criminals on the planet, like Batman's arch-nemesis, the
Joker.
But after analyzing the Joker and his horrific, unspeakable history as a homicidal clown and Jared Leto, she came to realize one truth.
The Joker was actually a misunderstood angel.
Oh, no.
washed down by an
I forgot about that.
society and wrongfully harassed by that son of a bitch Batman.
This was the first of the Joker's many manipulations, leading Harleen to see a warped reflection of herself through him, culminating in her breaking him out of prison, bleaching her skin via chemical vat baptism,
Ooh.
and joining him on his life of crime, descending into love like madness and reborn as the fantastic Harley Quinn.
And she was packing plenty of tools of maniacal mayhem, including her iconic
Iconic hammer.
electric
Hell
buzzer,
yeah, dude.
and bombs of all shapes and sizes, like the dreaded banana
Oh,
cream
no.
pie, the most evil of all pie flavors.
When she wants to get around quickly, she can use her handy-dandy pogo stick, which she straps rockets to.
Yeah, she does.
Safe?
Speaking of unsafe, Harley's most versatile tool is her pop gun, a rotating revolver with special ammo rounds, like a boxing glove. Whoa!
Oh, close one.
And binding confetti. Whee! And did I mention explosive rounds, which... Oh no.
Ah, my leg is gone. Oh no. Oh, there he was. I'm fine.
I'm gonna go.
Harley combines her arsenal with unparalleled gymnastic skills, making her far deadlier than your average criminal. She can even keep up with experts like Deadshot and Catwoman, even Batman at times. The peak human superhero that can dodge lightning and survive
Jesus.
alien device exploding.
Yeah, man. I think that is gonna be the thing that.
Yeah, I think that stretches the term peak human just a bit. But hey,
That's gonna be the
he's a
thing
goddamn
that
Batman, so
puts her over the edge. Is that she has gone toe to toe with certain characters.
Their honeymoon period did not last. He spent years abusing her, physically and emotionally, tearing her down piece by piece.
then when he got bored, he strapped her to a friggin' rocket and launched her halfway across Gotham City. Guess that's one way to say, no, it's not you, it's me. Bye.
Harley was left alone in the wreckage, abandoned by the one person she dedicated her entire life to.
Until fellow villain Poison Ivy came by. She nursed Harley back to health, literally healing her from a damaged relationship. Ivy even gave Harley a chemical concoction that granted her superhuman strength and a healing factor.
Cool.
I suppose a healthy relationship can sometimes feel like your own superpower in and of itself.
Yeah, and those two definitely seem like very good friends.
With Ivy at her side, Harley went on to rebuild herself as a famous anti-hero, leading teams like the Gotham Sirens and Suicide Squad. She worked on developing new skills built around her own strengths rather than that of her past.
Like learning to use her lifelong knowledge of psychoanalysis to manipulate her foes mid-combat.
And creating tons of her own chemical concoctions, like tranquilizers and sleeping gases that can incapacitate metahumans. She even reverse-engineered her former flame's trademarked Joker Venom. This deadly substance excites the laughter centers in a person's brain and forces them to laugh until they suffocate.
Harley was clearly on top of the world, but nothing caps off self-improvement like a Rocky Balboa training montage. So Harley went to Themyscira of all places to get a combat internship with the Amazons, just like her favoriteest superhero, Wonder Woman. And imagine going from bashing random goons in Gotham to fighting alongside immortal warrior goddesses.
She became agile enough to jump between skyscrapers and strong enough to rip an entire palm tree out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know that Jinx wants to smoke.
And the weight of an average palm by foot, that weighs about 600 pounds. And she can hold it one-handed, so her actual strength is probably at least twice as much.
Enough to lift a full-grown brown bear and throw it like a rag doll. Hell, her skills advanced so far, she was appointed a herald on the War World Apocalypse. You know, the planet ruled by the living embodiment of evil? Even the actual personification of the DC editorial staff likes to call her in to help with tough jams.
As the years went on, Harley surprised literally everyone by transitioning from supervillain to superhero. She partnered up with other heroes, became a psychiatrist again, and legitimately started helping other vigilantes with trauma, like Jason Todd.
That's cool.
Definitely needed that.
In fact, the Bat family she used to antagonize and ridicule eventually accepted her as kind of an extended member of their group, teaming up with her to save Gotham.
Man, I
from
gotta read more
toxic
comics,
acts. Good for
man.
her. Guess we're not
That's
gonna
cool.
talk about
I wanna
when she
read
went
that.
back to the Joker a couple times, huh?
In the end, she may be a little nutty, but you'd be mad not to love Harley Quinn. The world of Runeterra is a wondrous fantasy land of advanced technology, arcane magics, and legendary champions. But on its northern shores are two cities locked in political turmoil. For decades, Piltover's rich elite have exploited the undercity of Zaun, forcing workers into unsafe conditions and brutalizing the populace with terrifying police enforcers.
Oh, so like New Jersey. You could have just said New Jersey.
Until one
Strange.
day, a wild, loose cannon would literally explode onto the scene. She gave those uptight topsiders a taste of their own medicine, menacing its people with bombs, gunfire, and even more bombs. This was Jinx.
Jinx destroyed Zeppelins, Jumanji'd the shit out of the local zoo, and switched the street signs. What a monster! Now those monkeys will
That would
never
be
find
very
their way
irritating.
Only the enforcer, Violet, could hope to stop her. But even armed with massive gauntlets weighing over 4,000 pounds each, Vi could not definitively overcome Jinx's magnificent arsenal of mechanical monstrosities.
Man, they're so evenly matched. It's almost like they're related. Anyway, Jinx can burst open birds with her trusty Zapper Shock pistol, turn enemies to Swiss cheese with her Pow Pow minigun, and blow bad guys to bits with her Flame Chomper grenades.
But Jinx's favorite weapon is her Fishbones rocket launcher. So much so, she rides it like a rocket-powered pogo stick. Well, that seems even less safe.
Don't let her basic attitude fool you. Not only is Jinx tough enough to take a hit from Braum, a guy who can shake mountains with a punch, but she's wicked smart. Almost all her gear is custom made. She's even recreated Hex Tech, funky science powered by magic crystals. Ooh.
Including her handheld teleportation device.
Ooh, she can
My bad.
teleport? That's cool.
Is that League of Legends? What a coincidence.
Oh no.
Hold the phone. Are you talking about League of Legends over there? I love that game. I've got in more than 10,000 hours just in our college days, huh, buddy? League of Legends is
So
a
upset
multiplayer
Boomstick
online
was.
battle arena game forged in the flames of LAN parties and salty gamer tears. Oh. And as any professional will tell you, to play the game well, you need to min-max your character's loadout with the best possible items.
Yeah, and the worst mistake you can make is being new. God, it's the midterms all over again. No, Boomstick, stay in your lane. What are you doing in the jungle? Stop it, feeder.
Jinx's items loadouts include Phantom Dancer, so she can phase through objects after landing a blow.
I'd like to phase out of this conversation.
Then there's the Quicksilver Sash, which protects her from status effects like sleep, paralysis, and poison. This includes forced actions, which make you do things you don't want to do. Hey, Boom, you want to pop into a match with your old Teemo from back in the day? I can set it up right now.
How about we move on to Arcane before I ram my foot up your ass?
Aww.
So, there's more to Jinx than what the main games depict. Before her infamous tomfoolery, most people around Zon knew her as an innocent young tinkerer named Powder.
Like pretty much everyone in the Undercity, Powder had it rough. She lost her parents in a conflict with enforcers, but had a bit of luck when she joined this cool foster family along with Vi, who was, gasp, her sister all along. If you're wondering what put soap in their opera, Vi was a total badass. And
Yeah, she
Powder
was.
desperate to also prove herself to her newfound family. And then she made a mistake.
Seemingly abandoned, Powder was left in the hands of the most notorious drug kingpin around. Silco was not the father she needed, but the one she wanted, teaching her to turn her perceived weaknesses into her greatest strengths. Thus, she became Jinx.
Even when
God,
the
and
sisters
she, man,
reunited years
you haven't seen
later,
Arcane, you
they
should
could
definitely
fully
watch it, 'cause she
reconcile,
got,
setting up the game
she
of
got
cat
super
and mouse
dope.
in the game.
Jinx was an excellent rival, able to keep up with other skilled warriors like the bullet-dodging Echo, and survive the worst of Zon's toxic environments, which can kill normal people in minutes. After a near-fatal explosion, she was also infused with Shimmer, a toxic strength and speed-enhancing drug that permanently altered her body's biochemistry.
But Shimmer's side effects intensified her prior trauma, making her much more unhinged and prone to attacking with lethal intent.
Inspiring her ultimate weapon, the Super Mega Death Rocket! This baby's been powered by both Hextech and its even more volatile cousin, Chemtech.
That's even more explosive! I forgot how much I appreciated the explodey options. Anyway, both Hextech and Chemtech are comparable in power to natural magic.
On par with what a badass mage like Lux is able to cast, such as Lucent Singularity, which can totally body these
Alright, we're
Measuring their
drifting
physical
off course.
height, we can determine she destroyed almost 13,000 tons of rock from 30 meters away.
Promotional trailers show Mega Death Rocket matching the speed and power of Lux's Final Spark, a much more powerful attack that fires a Kamehameha of natural light.
So her rocket is not only super strong, but super fast. From powder to gunpowder, Silco couldn't be prouder.
But her violet streak grew grim until the day she met a particularly explosive Yordle. Ziggs bonded with her over their mutual passion for destruction, but his was more tempered, controlled. Thanks to his wisdom, Jinx learned a little bit of restraint when it came to exploding things of a more fleshy nature.
Helping her tone down the wanton violence and recover some of her mental stability, like he's some kind of feline brand Jiminy Cricket.
And despite being on opposite sides of the bridge, Jinx and Vi remained sisters, ultimately still caring about each other in their own way, even if they were at odds more often than not.
Though you better believe
Why is she
when it
creeping
gets
in the
boring
window?
and uptight, Jinx will be there to shake things up.
This
Alright,
episode
I
is
need
sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy.
Relationships are
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Still sticking with Harley Quinn, right? I'm a little more scared. It always happens though every time you see the history.
Can they say these
I always get scared for my pick. Hey, that's not cool.
You emo peasant! I'll show you a murder! Oh, I just love exploding stuff. Huh, I like exploding stuff too. Why don't I start with your head? Stay still! I'm trying to shoot you!
Ooh, that was cool.
Look out! She's right behind you!
Aw, thanks, pal.
It's just two freaks.
You're a real firecracker. Got a light? Oh, sure thing.
Ooh, that didn't look good.
Stop horsing around!
It's just two freaks. It's two idiots.
Oh, nuts. Neat gizmo. Got any games? No! My save file! You made me run! You...
Oh no.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Sorry found you too, Dad. To make up for it, I got you some nice perfume.
Ugh, smells like... Take that back. I'm crazy.
I really like how they mimic the style.
I am a doctor, and you ain't crazy. You don't have that same smile. I don't need a second opinion.
Alright guys. Not looking good.
Wait, don't you want to get in close and savor my emotions as you deliver the final kill? Nah, bye.
Get jinxed. Okay, yeah.
Don't just stand there, Jinx. You just want a free teddy bear. What if it's Timbers?
This was a complicated fight with far more factors to consider than at first blush. Harley had more direct combat experience against superpowered beings, along with better training.
But Jinx's physical power, diabolical weaponry, and assortment of items were just enough to roast this Harlequin duck.
While Harley lifting over 1,200 pounds is impressive, Jinx can compete with Vi, whose gauntlets weigh 8 times that in the game.
And Jinx can take hits from a guy who can shake mountains. A bit beyond Harley's level of strength.
Harley may have been more naturally acrobatic, but Jinx's hex tech and intangibility matched and outclassed that mobility. The teleporting tablet alone could control the entire fight, since Jinx could send herself or Harley just about anywhere.
And while Harley had a moderate healing factor, she's never regenerated entire body parts before. So a big enough kaboom would definitely kill her. And
okay.
Jinx's weapons were strong enough to do just that. In order to destroy
Makes
over
sense.
13,000 tons of rock from such a distance, Lux's magic explosion would need a yield of about 20 kilotons of TNT.
And Jinx's hex tech and chem tech are similar to Lux's magic in speed and power.
Even if we scale Harley's durability to Batman surviving this massive explosion, the potency of Jinx's weaponry outpaces it more than 300 times.
Sure, Harley is legitimately intelligent, but so is Jinx, as evidenced by her inventions and routinely outwitting Vi and her task force. Plus, Jinx is typically distrusting of people she's just met, so Harley's potential mind games were likely to fall on skeptical ears.
Jinx was much more likely to shoot first and ask questions later.
Now, Harley still had her wide array of poisons and chemical agents, like the Joker venom, which would kill most opponents in minutes. However, after living her whole life in the toxic cesspool of Zaun, her tolerance for poisons is clearly much higher than a normal person. Not to mention, the Quicksilver Sash could simply end any unwanted effect on her. Ultimately, Harley couldn't stand up to Jinx's physical
Yeah, it
power,
just feels like
superior technology,
Jinx
or
just kind of had an answer for
overwhelmingly
everything.
explosive arsenal.
Harley clowned around only to get her bell rung by someone out of her league.
The winner is Jinx. Death Battle is back, and we've launched a brand new membership program for...
Okay. Okay, yeah, so I guessed wrong. But, yeah, like I said, I didn't really know too much about Jinx other than from the show. And yeah, I mean, it just looked like, ooh, I forgot to hit loop on that. So that's a problem. Okay. But yeah, there was some stuff I didn't know about there where it's like, like I said, it seems like Jinx just kind of had the answer for everything, right? It's like, oh, well, Harley has the poison and stuff, but that doesn't affect Jinx. Oh, and then Harley has the healing factor. It's like, yeah, but it's really not that good, and like, oh, she's like kind of strong, but Jinx is stronger, like she's acrobatic, but Jinx has like hex tech and the teleportation thing, so it's like mobility doesn't really matter at that point. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. I would have thought that her fighting some other people, like fighting some of the heroes, and then obviously her experience being a superhero, and like all the foes that she would have had to fight there would have given her an edge, but I guess not, because it just doesn't matter. Again, versatility I think is one of the biggest deciding factors in these death battles. I think there's definitely been a couple death battles where I called them because of versatility. One of the more recent ones I did was Mario versus Sonic, and I just, again, like one of the big reasons why I chose Mario, I guess it's a spoiler, but one of the big reasons I chose Mario is because it's like, he's versatile. Like, he has like 4,700 different power-ups. It's like, yeah, Sonic's fast, but how much is just pure speed gonna get you, But yeah, so lost that one, but it makes sense. Let me know what you think of, I don't know, anything really. What you thought of, if you watched Arcane, let me know your thoughts. Season 2, I don't think is announced, but I mean, they'd be dumb not to do it. Let me know any any comic fans out there that I should read. Batman, Harley Quinn specifically, anything like that, because some of those stories they mentioned in the research was pretty cool. And yeah, that is it. Make sure to watch my other reactions. Of course, I do other death battles, but also some other animation stuff as well. And until next time, make sure to watch more cartoons.